Hey, are you like me and your whole day is bad if you have a bad shit in the morning? Are you tired of those frothy messes getting deposited in your porcelain throne?
Jesus.
Well, you need a cleanse, my friend. And the way to do that is to eat right. You can't be trusted to buy good food, buddy. You'll be at McDonald's every day. What you need is Blue Apron. Heard of it? Well, they offer delicious meals that are delivered right to your door. They send food that's pre-portioned with the recipe cards. You just got to prepare it. Things like ribeye steak and spicy vegetable hash, sweet corn and pepper empanadas. And for the hippies out there, purple rice and miso spinach bowls. Yes, please. All right, we got a special offer for you if you listen to Cold Cans Podcast. Go to coldcanspodcast.com/Blue Apron, and you can take $30 off your first meal. You hear me? $30. That's $30 US. So go to coldcanspodcast.com/Blue Apron, find the deal for you, cleanse your system, and be right in the morning when you're shitting.
And while you're cleansing your system, while you're shitting, food-wise, the boys, Nick and I, we've decided to cleanse our system of alcohol in preparation for this episode today. We've gone on a 7-day alcohol-free cleanse. We'll be here to tell you all about it as we enjoy a ice-cold O'Doul's Premium non-alcoholic beer. We always give like a little body reaction, I feel like, when we take a drink. And this time we both gave the exact same body reaction, which was we shrugged our shoulders. I think I expected the worst.
Before.
I've never drank it myself.
This is one of the few beers we've done that I've literally never had anything of before. And it
Yeah.
is, tastes like beer.
It honestly tastes like beer. There's really, like, if you're craving beer, and that's
Tastes
the
like
whole
flat,
point of O'Doul's.
warm beer, even though it is semi-cold.
It is
and
cold.
brand new.
Yeah. But it does taste like beer. That actually surprised me. The first thing we always look at the labels. First thing I want to do with the label. Label's nice, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Official sponsor of the PGA Tour. That I didn't know. I didn't know O'Doul's was marketing itself.
I don't know if John Daly's heard about that, but he would not be in support of that. It says premium and extra smooth O'Doul's. It says premium twice on the front of the label. Non-alcoholic brew contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume.
Yes, so there is still a bit of alcohol in it.
It's
but
like kombucha.
for all intents and purposes, it's non-alcoholic like a kombucha. Their logo from their website or their slogan on their website says, "Go ahead, it's an O'Doul's." There's like, and their website is shit. I encourage all the listeners to go to O'Doul's.com because it's garbage.
/cold cans.
But there's 3 things. Enjoy an O'Doul's where you read about them. Golf, and then there's a link that says rules of the game. You can read the rules of golf. And then a link that says designated driver, and they talk about how to be a designated driver.
Did the Tiger Woods fiasco lead to O'Doul's sponsoring
Ooh.
PGA? Is that part of it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe the PGA needed to clean itself up after that scum Tiger got in there. Yeah,
Well, I guess they would really be sponsoring the, something about spousal abuse because his wife beat the shit out of him with a golf club.
they're not sponsoring spousal abuse. What you're just saying is that they're responding to the incident of spousal abuse to be a sponsor for reputable golfers.
No. I think O'Doul's is fully in. Because whoever came up with O'Doul's, an non-alcoholic beer, had a insatiable thirst for the taste of beer.
Yeah, we should get into that.
Okay, let's do it. But anyway, he beat the shit out of his wife, or she beat the shit out of her wife or husband.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
victim
why they
has to
started
be-
this brewery.
Got it. Okay.
So they wouldn't beat the shit out of their spouse anymore.
Because they were alcoholics, they needed the flavor. They couldn't give up the flavor, so they went so far as to push the boundaries of science, create a non-alcoholic beer that we can all enjoy today.
That is the bit I am unsuccessfully concocting.
Got
yes,
it.
thank you.
So O'Doul's, I guess, as the listeners we've alluded to, a non-alcoholic beer with a trace amount of alcohol. The process for creating an O'Doul's, I don't know anything about it.
Who could say, really?
Who could say?
It's probably something with the fermentation, because I think that's how alcohol is created in other beers, is it ferments longer. And perhaps you can get the taste of a beer without fermenting it for a long time. That's all conjecture.
Yeah, so there is some science, a very brief history and science of non-alcoholic beer, but it's not interesting. There is a lot about fermentation.
It'll fit well with this podcast. Please continue. Now, let's talk about the whole cleanse idea. Let's get back to that.
So you and I have gone on a 7-day, we pledged to go on a cleanse and not drink alcohol for 7 days.
What led us to this?
What led you to this decision?
I had a weekend that was a real bender, 2 nights in a row, and really a full day of drinking.
Okay.
And when I'm not in my like college shape anymore, where I can just drink all day, every day, and be fine.
Sure.
Like it affects me all week if I have a bender now.
Right. We should get into that a little bit. Like it does seem, and I agree with this, you get a little more hungover with age.
Yeah.
I think everybody feels that.
I think it's when you stop drinking as much as you once were.
Right.
Because like if we had kept drinking the same amount since we were in college, we'd be fine.
Well, so I did a little bit of research on this. I wanted to surprise you with it because I think it's a relevant point to why we went on the cleanse. Why do hangovers really get worse as we get older? And then if so, why do they? And I think there's enough like evidence that they do. Okay. Many factors appear to be involved in worsening of hangover in old age. One is that the liver capacity to cope with the toxicity of, oh boy, here we go, acetaldehyde, something in beer. The capacity to cope with that decreases as we get older. So acetaldehyde is directly detoxified in the liver by an antioxidant called glutathione. Our data indicated that as age increases, glutathione generation capacity is decreased, so cells may be recovered or repaired. So there's a scientific explanation, but like that's been refuted. It's been bantered around. One that is kind of actually taken hold in the community is there is a link between age and hangovers, and it's that we've gotten fatter. When you get older, you get fatter. Or potentially you get thinner, but change in body size in either direction can potentially worsen hangover because blood alcohol level decreases and your body is used to a certain level. So your kidneys are used to processing it in a certain fashion, and either gaining or losing weight changes that, and it makes you less efficient and it makes you awful the next day.
Okay.
Basically, we were fucking alcohol processing machines when we were younger because we experienced it for the first time.
That was my degree, baby.
Our bodies adapted to it, and we were able to just like churn through it, kill the toxicity, and move on. And our bodies are still tuned to that method, and then we all got fat, and now they're not anymore. So
yeah, I buy that, I guess, because what happens when you get older? Normally you get heavier. Harder. It's harder on everything. It's harder on your organs, harder on your joints. It's harder on everything. So.
Yeah, totally.
I buy it, but I also think that if I was a constant alcoholic from the time I was 20 till now, that I'd be a little bit better. At dealing with hangovers.
Sure, that's the price you'd pay.
Because like, at what point does that kick in? You know, at what point can your liver stop breaking it down? Because like,
exactly.
I'm 26 years old. Not even to the physical peak of my life.
Yeah, you got another year left before you're able to potentially join the NBA.
In the world. Yeah.
No, but because you did it inconsistently, you drank throughout your life. You're not a constant everyday 10 beer a day alcoholic. Yeah, your body did not have time to adapt and evolve and be a better processor of the toxicity of it.
Okay.
So is it purely...
So suffice to say, our hangovers have gotten worse.
Our hangovers have gotten worse. What we think is happening actually is happening.
Yeah.
So is that, going back to why you chose to go on a cleanse, is that like purely the reason why you chose to do it, or are there other factors?
I think it's just a general, like, I don't want to feel shitty anymore. Why am I doing this to myself? My chest hurts. Can't sleep at night.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. Like, that's why I did it. And for me, it wasn't just physically with the hangover. It's like mentally. Like, it's you feel the depressive effects of alcohol more. So like, when you're a kid, you're partying or whatever, and I don't know, for whatever reason they can be better ignored. But here, you kind of wake up and go to
or
work
you just
and-
start drinking again the next day. If you're feeling sad, something's off.
Yeah,
I don't crack a beer.
and that's a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
and
but
that
for
is-
us now, it's Monday and you got to go to work, and so you can't do that.
exactly. And so a worse cycle of that is like alcoholism, which is not really anything like that's a serious thing. People
Yeah.
battle it all the time. It's a vicious cycle. A more milder case of it is, like you said, and which I've done plenty, which is like going on a bender and then just feeling physically bad and like fucking emotionally and mentally bad. And
Yeah.
so you need to take like a break.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really a blessing in our lives that we don't feel so shitty about our lives themselves that we need to keep drinking to like be okay.
Yeah, we're very
like our
fortunate.
baseline is not that. And another thing on that about the mental aspect of it, it's like the next day when you have to sleep in till 10 o'clock in the morning and it's a beautiful day outside, like it's the middle of summer, like what
Yeah.
the hell am I doing wasting away 5 hours of daylight by being hungover? That was a big
Yeah.
thing for me too. Like I'm ruining my entire next day. Why am I doing this at
Yes.
night? Is this that fun that I need to do this? Am I getting that much benefit out of it? No.
Yeah, I'm less the burning the daylight away guy than you
You're
are.
a late riser. You're typical West Coast.
Yeah,
I'm up at 4:30 a.m.
I was gonna
sharp
say I get
every
up.
day.
I get up deeply late. I get up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the
Oh
morning.
my
So it's
God.
ridiculous.
Look at this guy, fucking lazy
No, but
piece
like
of
that
shit.
doesn't bother me as much as like burning away daylight because I'm willing to switch to be a night owl. But what does typically happen is the combination of well, it's like you said, you just feel like shit no matter when you wake up. The next however long you're awake, 15 hours or whatever, you're gonna feel awful. And so
Yeah, and you can't do anything else.
You
If
can't
you
do
had
anything, you're
Plans,
just
you feel like
stuck.
shit during it.
and you're probably not gonna work out.
Yep.
You're probably gonna eat because that's a great way to feel better.
You're gonna order a large Dommy's pizza, have it delivered straight to
Yes.
the couch.
Yes, because you can't even get to the door.
No.
You got to watch episode, or you got to watch like Hellboy, as you and I did.
Yeah, we
on,
did.
What, last Sunday or two
Was
Sundays
that,
ago?
I think it was 2 Sundays ago.
We
a
sat
good
around
example of
hungover
why
and
we-
watched Hellboy, and then went, yeah, we need to go on a cleanse for a week. But yeah, you just so then your weekend's gone because now all of Sunday is gone. You wanted to go on a hike, or maybe you wanted to get a little side project done, or whatever you wanted to do is gone because you have to just nurse. It's like getting sick, except
Yeah.
you did it yourself.
Yeah. And that's another thing of getting older, I think, is
Yeah.
when we're so busy during the week that we don't have time to do anything recreationally or something we
Yeah.
actually want to do. Weekend's the only time you can do it. And if you're
Yeah, totally.
pissing that away because you had to drink away the sorrows of your work week, then it's just lose altogether. For
Totally.
like 2 seconds of, oh, this is the best thing ever. Cheers. Give me a
And-
shot of tequila.
And another thing is Kayla.
Tequila.
Oh, tequila, got it. And another thing is
From a
like
bartender named Kayla. Full circle.
I'm also willing to sacrifice a day of being hungover if I can tell that like the event or the thing that I'm doing is going to be worth it. But I
Yeah.
used to not have to like make that distinction.
Right.
Like I used to just go, let's just fucking go. And now it'll be like, you know what? It's Tuesday. It's 11. I'm going to bed by 1. Like I'll hang out with you guys. I'll have beers with you guys, for God's sakes. I'm there.
8 duels.
I just don't need to rip shots until I'm fucking hungover till Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so now there's always that like mental math going on, which is like I will be uninhibited and go for it if I'm in fucking Vegas or something. Like
Right.
whatever, I don't care. But a lot of times I'm stepping back from that and going, I don't want to feel like shit. I don't want this to sort of control my life.
Part of me loathes that calculation. I
Me
do
too.
the same thing.
I hate it too. Yes.
But I know it's necessary. And
It
it's
is.
a part of becoming older and having more responsibilities and
Mm-hmm.
just like trying to be wiser. But like in the moment when you're just like, yeah, let's go.
It's an effort to sort of predict the future a little bit, like
Yeah.
because it is the thing in front of you is the most exciting. Everyone else is doing it, and you do it. But if you project out, you'll go, I'll be happier over this 3-day span if I just take the foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I don't need to drink 12 beers in 3 hours to have fun.
Exactly, and your friends don't care. Like as you get older, I think it's less about the like rep these shots, and it's more like we're all hanging out. It'd be kind of lame if you didn't come hang out.
Yeah.
It would also be kind of lame if like we're out at a bar and you're like, I'll have water today. But at the same time, you can certainly pace yourself and have like a beer an hour. You don't need to have like 6
Yeah.
and be just fucking
So maybe
flopping
we're
around.
in that weird like transition period where we're used to, fun means having 6 beers in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
To like, I need to survive the night. I need to survive the next 2 days. What can I
Yeah.
do to have fun but still be functional the next 3 days?
Right. Yeah. And maybe one of the choices that you can do is sprinkle in a fine premium O'Doul's
Yes.
throughout your night.
If you can't stop yourself from consuming so much volume, then go for O'Doul's.
If you want
Or
all
have
the
a-
calories with none of the reward.
Right. Or have 1 beer an hour, maybe.
Yes.
A nice beer.
Chug a bunch of O'Doul's. Speaking of, I'm on a Yahoo Answers thread which asks, how many O'Doul's do you have to drink to get drunk? Valid question. O'Doul's is classified as NA, but it does contain alcohol. U.S. law says in order for a beer to be classified as NA, it has to contain less than 0.5 ABV. O'Doul's pushes those limits.
Oh, boy.
Answer is essentially, if you feel drunk after, say, 5 regular beers, calculating 1 O'Doul's that contains 0.5, that's 10 O'Doul's to 1. So if you're drunk after 5 regular beers, you got to drink 50 O'Doul's to feel that same thing. So the O'Doul's challenge is when you go out and you buy 4 cases of O'Doul's, you try to polish off 50 of them in an hour and see if you feel all pissed up.
Wow. You'll be pissing, that's for sure.
Yeah, for
Jeez,
sure.
Lou, that's a lot of volume.
God, if listeners, if you're out there, and by all means, our lawyers advise us, do not do the challenge. But if you're out there and you want to take on an O'Doul's challenge, please tweet at us. Please tell us the effects of the O'Doul's challenge.
Yeah, tell us about your self-torture that you went through so you didn't have to be hungover. Drink this
And you probably
O'Doul's.
still would be hungover.
I suppose, yeah, if you're trying to get to the maximum drunkenness from O'Doul's. All right, let's take a look at Beer Advocate. The community gives it a 56, which translates to awful.
Yeah.
Bunch of alcoholics talking
But
about that
even
is.
so, 56 is surprising. Like,
Yeah, it could be, 10.
yeah, it
And
means,
the bros actually give it a 77, which is okay.
yeah. So like the community is basically saying we're beer enthusiasts, and that doesn't it doesn't mean that alcohol is 80% of why we're enthusiasts. It means it's a smaller portion. That's cool.
By the way, in the Bros review, they say that alcohol is removed through the use of low temperature, low pressure distillation. This extremely gentle process allows the alcohol to be removed without heating or cooking the beer, which retains the full, rich, and delicate flavor and balance of our non-alcoholic brews. Oh, that must be from
Sure.
O'Doul's. Okay.
So it tastes the same. You don't have to do anything like strange and genetically modified to take the alcohol out. It does, as we said at the top of the show, taste very much like a beer.
Yep.
If anybody's thought, what does an NA beer taste like? And then you never said, I'm going to spend money on NA beers, which by all means don't. It just tastes a lot like a normal shitty lager.
All right, let's rate this SOB.
Okay, so I probably will stop the top half of the rankings. How about we start at Eyinger?
Eyinger.
Eyinger Brauweiss
Way below.
to Rolling Rock to Schaffenhofer Hefeweiss into Molson, Miller 64, Miller Lite, Budweiser Olympia, and Smirnoff Ice. That's the bottom half of our rankings. I'm right down there at the bottom.
Yeah,
I would. Oh, go ahead. I want you first.
I would maybe put this above Smirnoff Ice just because I want Smirnoff Ice to still be at the bottom.
I would put this above Smirnoff Ice because
Okay.
the taste is so much better than Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
Budweiser and Olympia, I'm having a little bit of trouble with.
You
though.
want to put it above them?
No, I would put Budweiser. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I do want to put it above Budweiser and Olympia. I don't
Okay.
like it more than Miller Lite, but I fucking hated the Budweiser that we drank. I hate Budweiser.
I don't think it was that bad. And when you consider
Yeah, and it has alcohol in it.
exactly,
Yeah, there's an end goal to
exactly,
it. You're absolutely right.
yeah, because I still like drinking, even though I wanted to take a dry spell off,
Yeah.
which this is indicative of. But I would never drink this when I'm doing a.
I suppose we have to look at it like this. We would never drink. We would never buy this.
Literally
we would
never
never
buy it.
order this. We would never drink this.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't put it above Budweiser, and I probably can't put it above Olympia. But Olympia is your demon to slay. So how do
It's
you
bad.
handle this with Olympia?
Olympia, when it's on tap, it's fine. I would drink one in a bar. I would never drink an O'Doul's. I want Olympia above O'Doul's.
Well,
Sober-minded,
should
clear
poke
mind,
around-
full heart.
I guess
no
we should
O'Doul's.
poke around with the Smirnoff Ice then.
No,
You won't do it? I'm happy not doing it either.
No, I don't want to put it above it.
So we're putting O'Doul's right above Smirnoff Ice, but nonetheless at the bottom of our rankings. Not really O'Doul's fault in terms of taste. It's just what they chose to make. They did this to themselves.
So if someone needs to drink an O'Doul's to remember what the beer tastes like in lieu of their court-ordered non-alcoholism,
Right.
they got the ankle bracelet. More power to you.
No,
but I'll
no
never drink
policeman
one
in the country could arrest you with an O'Doul's in hand.
of those. Yes.
Our lawyers advise us that is definitely not true.
The Cold Cans podcast is recorded in the Overcast room at Cloud Studios in Seattle, Washington. Visit cloudstudiosseattle.com